everybody, and welcome back to the Wild at Heart. In the last video, we finished up in Wispwagon. We got our final artifact. We finished up the area 100% complete. Don't have to come back here for anything. We are essentially ready to return to the Grove and finish the game, but there are a few loose ends that I want to clear up before we do that. There's a couple of collectibles and some things for Scrap Heap's museum. Both things that we need to do for Scrap Heap are actually done during the night. So it is nighttime now. I'm camped out in the central deep woods. And I think I'm ready to go. I have not practiced this, so hopefully I don't screw it up. I have a power tonic with me, a sturdy tonic. I have 4 night lights, a kettle bomb just in case I need it. I don't remember if we need this or not, but I tend to carry them around anyways. And then we also have some food. So we are going to head to that giant boulder that we've been seeing for a little while. This one here. And because it's nighttime, we can throw down our Lunalings. And get them to move that boulder for us. So you can see there, I think I threw all 25 of my Lunalings. So if you've got 25, that should do the trick. We are gonna have to fight another one of these guys. So I gotta get myself ready here. Go ahead and use up some of my tonics. Just to get rid of this guy quickly. We have to get rid of him in order to be able to open up the gate. So again, pretty quick, a little bit stressful with the never kind of there on my butt constantly, but that's why we brought some night lights. I did manage to figure that out, so that's great. And then we are going to get some of our Lunalings to carry the artifact back over to the portal. And I do recommend having the Lunalings do it because they sort of ignore the Never. The Never can't hurt them. So they can kind of carry this thing and not be bothered. And it also takes 60 sprites to carry, and that's the other reason is obviously at nighttime they're stronger. For some reason, they're very, very finicky about where they have to be in order to carry this, which I don't really understand. There we go. So we got 60 on carrying that over. And then once the artifact is moved, you can go ahead and pick up this chest. It's hiding underneath a leaf pile. There's lots of mesmerite here, obviously, so if you have the time, if you have the resources, you can have your sprites break those down. I'm not too worried about that right now. That's something that I can do during the day. You can see here that my night light has gone out. So that's why it's a good thing to carry multiple batches of night lights. They do last a long time and they give off a lot of light, but they do burn out. So I only ended up having 1 left. I'm pretty lucky that I had a lot of light available there to help me out, otherwise I would have been in trouble. The Never seems a little bit more aggressive tonight. Usually I have a hard time seeing them, they're sort of scarce, but they were really trying to get us. And then after these guys bring the artifact we only have one more to grab. And I am wondering if I could do this in one night, but I don't think so because I could hear the music starting back up. I was gonna actually warp right to where we needed to go, but it looks like it's daytime again. Which actually is okay, because when we do sleep, we get the option to sleep until nighttime. So I have to fully wait for the morning symbol to appear on the bottom right. It's still technically nighttime. So once it's daytime, I will warp over to where our very last artifact is. And then at that camp, we can sit around and wait for night. So as long as you're prepared, it's pretty painless. There we are. Finally, technically now it's daytime. We're safe. We can leave. And of course, the very last artifact that I have marked on the map, as you can see, is over here in Frostfields. We haven't been back here in a long time, and as it turns out, I actually missed a treasure chest in this area too. So my apologies for that. I'm gonna go back and grab that chest right now while it's daytime. While we're roaming around in the daytime, I'm gonna grab a couple of frostlings because it's been so long since we've been here. All the enemies are back. And the chest that I missed is, I believe, down here. So this ramp, we cleared all this area up. We got ourselves a shortcut. You can see this is where I am on the map. And the chest is over here in this area. I don't know how I missed it, but fortunately this is not a chest that has Heartroot Resin in it, so it's not this huge gigantic loss or anything, but it is required for an achievement to grab all of the treasure chests, and I do think that was the last one, but I might actually buy one of the treasure chest maps from Paper Planes just to be sure. I don't have any achievements popping up on my screen, so I just will have to double check that. So, like I said, now that we're here and it's daytime, I'm gonna go ahead and try and clear things up before we attempt to grab our very last artifact, because we need a clear path. We need to get in there. If you can recall, this area requires a lot of spritelings. We need a lot of spritelings to be able to carry that. So I'll get the Lunalings to light this area up, and then with the Shiverlings we will clear this area up. This whole series will be done by the time it's uploaded. I do know that I call them Frostlings. I do know that they're called Shiverlings. I just sort of prefer Frostlings. It's easier for me to remember and to say, I guess. Just for anybody who is gonna leave a comment that I'm calling them by the wrong name or I forgot. It's the same with when I call them sprites. I know they're spritelings, but sprites works too. So let's see. I wonder how many of these guys I'm gonna need if it requires 100 of them to carry that thing. I think I'm okay with what I have. I have a couple hatched that I am not carrying with me right now. I might as well hatch a couple more. Just to be sure, bring as many lunalings with me as possible. And you can see here that we do have the prompt to wait for nighttime. So it'll bring you right to evening, not quite till night. You do have to wait around just a little bit longer for it to actually turn. And I am going to need some more night lights for this. I've got lots and lots of supplies, so I might as well make them. I don't need twiglings, I don't need emberlings. I probably don't even need barblings, to be honest. I think I just need a lot of lunalings. I will bring along some shiverlings just in case those ice flowers came back. I think 40 lunalings will be plenty. 40 is actually probably massive, massive, massive overkill. But you can never be too sure. It's better to have too many than to have too little. And we can get set up for this before the nighttime actually comes. I will leave Wake here. And I will drop a nightlight by him, so he stays safe. And I have to wait for it to become full on nighttime. It won't work if it's just evening. The lunalings don't get their super strength until nighttime has fully come. Should be any second now. Perfect. There we are. Okay. So I can actually position Kirby right here, which will keep her safe from the Never. And I'm just going to start throwing lunalings over here. And hopefully I will have enough so that they can carry this thing. I don't know why sometimes they just kind of stand there. As you can see, I've thrown a few that are just standing around for no reason, which is kind of weird. So I might actually have to re-throw these guys, which is kind of frustrating because it just wastes time, you know? It's like you have to have this sweet spot. There we are. Perfect. So Kirby is safe over here for now. Wake is safe over there. I do have to get out of here, though, because that lantern is not going to last forever. And that's that. Pretty simple stuff. The Never, like I said, they'll kind of just ignore the lunalings. The lunalings are sort of immune to them. And I wouldn't worry too much about bringing a bunch of supplies, like a lot of nightlights and food and stuff, because it's such a short journey over to the portal. You can see that they've already brought it, and we had the lanterns that are on the map itself to protect us. So no sweat whatsoever. Our little lunalings did great. Incredible. We have filled the museum to capacity. Yes. The Grove is a brighter place. Oh, you're welcome, Scrap Heap. So there we are. We have brought back all of Litterbox's cats. We have also finished up the Grove Trove. I believe that we have opened every single treasure chest, although I will probably actually buy Paper Plains' map to double check. We've been to every single area, we've gotten all of our relics, and so all that's left is to go back to the Grove. But I am gonna go quickly over to the Crystalfall Coast first. There is one small collectible that I missed in this area, so I'll go to sleep and we'll collect it in the morning. Oh, and we have another dream. How unexpected. Okay. Hi, Green Witch. It's nearly time. I'm fading. My strength is spent. What do I do? Hurry. I think that dream is the game's way of telling us, what are you doing? Go back to the grove. It sounded urgent. They need you. So for this thing that I missed, and this was silly of me to miss it, I'm going to grab a couple of twiglings. I'm going to grab some barblings. And then the rest of the sprites don't really matter. Doesn't really matter. We don't even need full capacity for this. This is just a short little collectible that I forgot to grab, but I do think I have to kind of clear out this area first, so I brought the twiglings along because I do think they have to fight this guy. Oh my goodness, if he'll stop running off. These things are so irritating. They just drive me nuts. The vacuum is supposed to work on them, but I was having a lot of difficulties with it, as everybody saw. It wasn't quite working out the way that I wanted it to, so anyways, I have to chase that guy down. And we're gonna send up some more barblings for Kirby in this area. You may or may not recall, but we were here before, after Cath drains the water. Once we do the oysters and all of that type of stuff, the log over here becomes clear. And we were in this area before because there was one of Litterbox's cats here. But in this crystal is a page for our book. And from what I can see, it's the only page that I've missed so far. And there is no real way to mark pages to go and pick up later, which is why I've been doing my best to pick them up as we've gone on in our adventures, because once you are not able to find them, if you're missing them, it can be kind of hard to track them down. I would say the best chance that you have of figuring out what ones you're missing are to go to the book and to look at what number it is, and if you can figure out what number it is, you can kind of try to find some sort of guide or something that will tell you exactly where that number of page is. So thankfully they are numbered, which does help out a little bit. And if we look in the book at the journal pages, you can see that we have 8, which I was missing. This is the entry on Litterbox, actually. And then we are missing just the last couple pages of the book, which we have yet to find. And then while I'm here, I suppose I should spend my scrap and buy the last piece of Heartroot Resin from Cath. We will need this to be able to finish doing all of our upgrades. So that should be completely 100% complete for all of our backtracking and collecting. It is now time to go back to the Grove and to finish up this game for good. Wow, I can't believe that we've arrived at the conclusion. It has just flown by and gone by so quickly. So from here, I will warp back to the grove in the next video, and we'll try and figure out what the heck is going on. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.